What's up, people? Short version, I'm speed running YouTube video, so we're doing a test right now to see if I can take an entire ranty Instagram live and post it as a YouTube video and use that for content in the future. As such, it's regimented in this order. So basically, short version is, I ain't Japanese, and because I ain't Japanese, I became infatuated anime and became infatuated Japanese culture. I was running around learning about Kore Gates and katanas and Japanese stuff, just running all over the place, being a whole weeb. It was absolutely wonderful. Watching all these shonen and watching all these isekai and even getting into like shoujo and slice of life and stuff, and I was like, damn, it'd be pretty cool to be Japanese. So I started studying Japan a lot, but I wasn't just studying like the videos of people that was living in Kyoto and Osaka and Nagoya and Nara and stuff, but I was also learning like stuff that they've been doing over the last 300 years of history. And I learned that some of the things that happened in the mid-1900s weren't necessarily the best from like an objective historical standpoint. So then I was like, dang, well, maybe Japan isn't this perfect magical place the anime said that it was, even though most anime is about how depressing it is to exist as a Japanese person in this beautiful location, and either accepting that you're going to live your life the way that you want to live your life, or it's in surviving long enough to not die. It's after becoming disillusioned with this fantasy of living in this perfect Japanese land, I was like, all right, cool. Well, I might not be Japanese, but I can still enjoy anime and manga and stuff. So then I'm like reading anime and manga and stuff, and then I'm wanting to see black people, and there's not no black people, and now I'm getting tight because I'm like, yo, I like this. I see y'all with these token black characters in every show that I like. Why the heck isn't there a black main character in none of these shows? So then I keep exploring the internet, finding the OCR community, finding people that's like me that like anime and stuff, and they like drawing the stuff and making stories based on the stuff that they inspired by. And I'm like, cool, we got a community of people. Sure, this community of people is going to be making stuff, and all these people got these original characters, and some people making pages with these original characters, and some people be anime with these original characters. Eventually, some of the people actually got chapters out. And then we got people like Mara Caesar and Saturday AM and Post Manga, and these are various black entities and organizations and individuals that decide to like take their love of manga and anime and stuff, but make themselves and their characters the main characters, the original characters, and that's cool because you get to have black stories being told. However, when you look into the landscape of people that come from the culture that we come from, the subculture that we come from, a lot of them is ultimately utilizing escapism to like have fantasy of all the beautiful stuff that they enjoy about Japan, completely getting rid of the stuff that they don't like so that they can have their safe little artistic creative expression thing that they draw all day. And that's cool, because as an artist, what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to create your nice, safe, escapist fantasy realm and live in it, and then you can share it with other people, and they can engage in the fantasy, and now y'all just skipping through fantasy land together. It's amazing. So then, I get tight again, because I'm realizing that most of these, a lot of decent amount of ones that ain't that good, is about people that's trying to keep as much of the pieces of being black that they like, and the pieces of being Japanese that they think they're going to like at the same time in this fictional thing. And it be clashing because you got to be thoroughly studied in all these things to be able to pull it off properly. And then some other people that pull it off mostly is just like the people in Japan, where they tell stories authentically, and they just tell those authentic stories in manga style. Like most of the stuff I like from Saturday AM, it has nothing to do with Japan whatsoever. Just people living their lives and doing what they want to do, and it looks cool and it's drawn well, so I like it. Like freaking hold up, Bakassi and Oblivion Rouge and Revolver something. I don't think it's called Revolver Black. And then Underground. I really, really, really like Underground. So they don't want to see mixed black characters. It's not that they only want the mixed black characters. It's that Eurocentricity with beauty standards is really strange, because it's like a subconscious thing. They literally don't understand like the differences between black people. So for like, they don't understand how like baked in colorism and texturism is. So like these idiots will really I'm an actor, so as an actor I'll be going into auditions all the time. They're like, hey, you look just like this person that looks like they stepped off of a Drake set. And you're like, why do you think this is the game? Like, has anybody ever told you look like this person that definitely has a parent with much waviness? And that's someone that they'll be like, don't you don't you think that this person looks like someone that puts raisins in their macaroni? It's weird, but they don't understand things. So then the people that build their societies or their value structure, their beauty standards off of Eurocentricity, they retain all that stupidity, all that ignorance. It's freaking crazy. And so, unfortunately, these idiots think, well, if I want the best of black culture and the best of this Asian culture, you're right, I'ma just make me a character that is black and Asian and completely ignore all of the conflict and life experience that comes along with that, which is freaking stupid. And while I'm grateful that people that do come from that background are starting to tell their stories more profusely and have that intersectionality known, because what a lot of these properties is missing is intersectionality. That's ultimately the theme of this conversation, is intersectionality and cultural appropriation, especially within the context of telling black stories, especially when you do not come from the culture that's depicting what you're talking about. And it's rooted in a conversation that I had with a homie yesterday. It's basically, it's this dude, and he from Brazil, and he making a comic about a Haitian general that like comes back to life and fights vampires in the modern day. And that would be cool. It's a cool idea. It's a really cool idea. However, like, Haitians is serious. Like, you gotta be, because history exists and culture exists. So, like, I also have a comic book about some stuff involving the Haitian Revolution and history and culture and stuff. And I know that Haitians is serious because I've been around Haitians for a little bit. My great-grandfather is Haitian. My barbers was Haitian when I moved to Philly. You don't mess with freaking Haitians. It's not even like a matter of safety or whatever. It's just not a smart thing to do. Like, Haitians are to be respected for the individuals that they are and for the community that they are. And they do so many cool things. It's hard to explain unless you know what I'm talking about. But, like, Jamaicans are like the representative for the Caribbean in the world. And then Haitians are the Caribbeans that exist in the world. And if you break down, like, from a population standpoint, like, the amount of Caribbeans that are inside of America, you have, like, Jamaicans are number 1, and then Puerto Ricans are number 2, and then Haitians are number 3. That's how many Haitians in America, and nobody would know it unless you could find them, and in order to find them, you got to do certain things. And when you study certain things, you understand why things are the way that they are and how they got that way. And there's a lot of factors involved with these things. So it's very important to be very careful when depicting the stories of people that come from certain places, because there's so much context involved in why things are the way that they are. If you don't understand the context, and then if you don't go to the people, you'll end up in a very tricky position. The only thing every time they put a black characters, they kind of necessarily have the pale and not black. It's not pure black cannot exist in this entertainment. That's because the entertainment is not made of black people. The black people that it is made for are toxic. Like, unfortunately, a lot of the entertainment that, like, is successful among black people are, like, consumed by, like, toxic femmes. Because toxic femmes spend money. And people that like toxic femmes also spend money. So from a capitalist perspective, you gotta feed black toxicity to people. Because that's what they consume and pay for. Like, if you black and you really got your life together, you're not really consuming media like that. Because the media is poisonous. And the media that's not poisonous is, like, far and few between. And honestly, the experiences that you're going to have in real life amongst constructive black people are, like, infinitely easier to have and way more enjoyable than the media that you're going to consume. Toxic femmes or toxic fans? Oh, definitely toxic femmes, fam. Like, you break it down from the capitalist perspective. You're not necessarily gonna, because here's the thing. Like, there's mad toxic men that's on the internet, and they're broke. Toxic men spend money trying to impress toxic women or femmes. There we are. They don't. Toxic, like, if you a toxic man and you not broke, you probably wasting your money on something you ain't got no business doing, to be honest with you, fam. Like, because what do toxic men spend money on? They go to the strip club. They buy clothes from these European companies that don't care about them. They buy cars from these European companies that don't care about them. They buy jewelry from these people from outside of the country that don't care about them. Like, they just waste their money on people that don't care about them to make themselves feel and look marginally better. I don't like that. Agreed. Although, to be honest, I've been doing that, sometimes have an Afro-Caribbean, Latino, or Black character shine. That's a fact. And that's what we talking about today. Welcome, Avatar. We addressing the Haitian comic book thing. Not my Haitian comic book, but the other Haitian comic that exists. Because homie had a decent idea. And the decent idea was that you're going to have the reanimated general, and then you're going to come to guide the black people, and the black people is going to be fighting against imperialism and colonialism and literal vampires and stuff. It's a cool idea. However, you are correct when you say that the depth required to properly depict Afro-Caribbean, Latino, and Black culture is huge. And you don't get it unless you get someone of the culture to sign off to it. Like, cause okay, so for example, I'm not even going to use Haiti as an example. We're going to use the American South as an example. Lovecraft Country was expertly crafted from a cultural perspective because it was not rooted in Black trauma. It exists in the context of Black trauma. You have Black people that are free, that are actually doing quite well for themselves, but they're aware that they live in a segregated society, and they're also aware that because of the society that they live in, they're going to have to deal with certain things. So they stay where the heck they are, and they do what the heck they do, and they're peripherally aware of the environment that they're in, but they don't allow that to stop them from living life that they want to that they want to live it in. So like their existence is barred by this context where they exist in the South and they Black. I don't even remember if they're in the South, but I feel like they're in the South, something like that. But they exist in this place that's racist, and they live in life regardless of that. And when the racism comes up, they're like, yeah, we know how to deal with this because we know that racism exists. And then they go about their lives. And as such, all the conflicts are like rooted in personal problems and rooted in internal and external conflicts, and you can see that very clearly. However, that context of living in this segregated society is prevalent, and when it comes up, it makes sense in the context of the story because they took the time to set up that context, and that's really, really, really important. I just think someone should have given him a warning that people are going to be mad because he's not Black first. He's going to get for that alone. Then the Haitians are going to be mad he's not Haitian. I mean, yeah. Did someone give him a warning? No, I don't give people warnings. You're right. This serves as the warning to everybody that is not Black. There we go. All right, cool. If you try and tell Black stories and you ain't Black, it's not on site for you, but you're going to be eyed with great scrutiny. Hey, that's the... Hey... It's like Yu-Gi-Oh! Except he's not Black first. Hey, you definitely don't get one. No, I think you gotta watch things unfold over time. Like, if I ain't an advisor to you, I'm not advising you. I'll like give you hints, but like, que será. Cause like, it's not my place. Yu-Gi-Oh! Isn't Black at all. That man Egyptian. What you talking about, fam? You heard his voice? You heard Yu-Gi-Oh's voice and you're going to tell me that Yu-Gi-Oh isn't Black? Are you kidding me? You think... Come to Afro Comic Con? When is it? Where is it? Is somebody buying me tickets? People stay wanting me to come places where people have not... How am I supposed to get to these places? I don't have a job, fam. I am in a... I am in a state of indentured servitude, prolifically. He's legit colored, melanated in the manga and anime. You're funny. Welcome, Cosmic. How are you doing? Okay. This is a warning to everybody that is not Black that want to tell Black stories or tell a story with a Black character. Okay. If your name, I love you're alive, I would love for you to be... Hey, I appreciate that. And if it's a digital thing that we could do, like, I think something... Homegirl taught me into doing the martial arts lesson last time. Hey, fam, want me on a panel or something, pre-recorded, digital? I got you. You want to DM me, said you can give me a plane ticket to come to California. I think y'all in Oakland. Come to California, I'm with it. But if you can give me half, we might be able to do something. But hey, if I need to draw something for you and make it worth it, we can make some things happen. But hey, DM me. We can talk about it. How am I supposed to get to these places? Hey, I'll be traveling because people be investing. But if people ain't investing, I can't be traveling. And what been happening is people be like, hey, Lee, I want you to do this stuff. And I'll be like, cool, here's the invoice. And then a month passes and they're like, hey, can I slide you 50% of that invoice? And I'm like, but a month has passed. I got things on my schedule now. So if you serious, I can help you come through. Yeah, fam. Hey, you tell me what you need and then we can knock it out. That's balance. I believe in balanced energy. Cause like I can stay in Long Beach. Like I have a place to stay in Long Beach. I just need to know what you need so that we can balance the equation. But anyway, if you telling a story about black people featuring black culture or with black characters and you not black, you should expect to be attacked. Number one. Number two, if your name is not Brian Michael Bendis, it is a terrible excuse to say, well, we just put this black character inside of our story as the main character because we wanted little black boys to have heroes that look like them, and we want little black girls to have heroes look like them. That's not enough no more, because if you're not black, you don't understand the context of blackness. If you don't understand colorism and texturism and code switching and double consciousness, it's not your place to give us black representation. You better find you a black person and ask them for your help, because that's the best that you gonna get, trying to tell a black story without no black people involved. Because like this is what happens, okay? These people that's not black, they make the black character and they're like, all right, here's your representation. Look at this black character we made you. We didn't make him stereotypical. He listens to classical music and he be playing Adele on violin. Look at this non-stereotypical black person that still has immaculate taste and a terrible haircut. And then they take the non-stereotypical exaggerated swagger of a black teen black person and then they pair him with this freaking white woman or this person that is not black. And you're like, yo, heck are we doing? And they're like, no, it's okay because love has no color, because we want to show that there's no stereotypes and everything's okay. And that's not how that works, because you've just shifted the foundations of this person's entire existence. Why is it that this black character that was created to represent black people is paired with a person that is not black? What does that tell us about their upbringing? What does that tell us about their history and their story and their connection to the world that they in, about the society that they operating in? And what does this pairing mean for their life? How does this affect what they're going for? Who are their friends? Where did they grow up? All these things are important when you're like telling a story about black people. How you gonna give me a story about black people where the black person is raised by both of their parents and their parents don't measurably affect their lives whatsoever? How you gonna give me a story about black people and I ain't ever seen their grandparents before? I don't think I ever seen Virgil Hawkins' grandparents in the Static Shock cartoon. I don't know if I seen Number 5's grandparents in the Codename Kids Next Door. How you gonna give me a black character with no grandparents, fam? How you gonna give me a black character with no school experiences? You gonna give me the token black character in a white school? I ain't never, ever seen a black school in a TV show in my life. They don't understand the significance of that. We saw their parents, that's what happened. We saw their parents' legs, fam. I don't think Number 5's dad, who's Bill Cosby, might have seen his clavicle. Now, the Saiyans are a better allegory for antebellum slavery black people, but it falls flat with the appearance of the Super Saiyan. Yeah, because the Super Saiyan is a freaking Aryan, because blacks are magic. Just sent you an email. We out here. Blessings to you, fam. Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. How you gonna give me a black character? You gonna pair him with this person that's not black? And then you gonna have him disrespecting his parents on top of that. When I tell you I hate Miles Morales in the comic books, I really hate Miles Morales in the comic books. And it's not because Miles Morales does not have the exaggerated swagger of the black teen. He's not the only good new character to exist in Marvel this entire freaking century. But it's because you gave me this black character and then had him do nothing black and then traumatized him his entire freaking existence. This man becomes Spider-Man, and then the real Spider-Man dies. So now it just falls on him to become Spider-Man. This man gets beat from one side of the freaking country to the other side of the freaking country. Then he learns his uncle is a supervillain. Then he inadvertently kills his uncle. Then his dad hates him. Then he finds a Spanish woman. No, he finds the white girl, and then the white girl hate him. Then he finds the Spanish girl, and then the Spanish girl hate him. And then I think like his best friend take the other girl from him, playing with freaking Legos and stuff. And it's not good. It's so bad. And then after his dad hate him because he hates superheroes, because his dad was in freaking S.H.I.E.L.D. with Nick Fury. Miles' dad in the comics is cooler than him. Miles' dad was Nick Fury's black sidekick. You ain't never seen no black buddy cops ever in anything. And you give me two black national federal metaphysical agents in the Ultimate Comics with fire side stories, and I gotta watch Miles fumble through school when he's supposed to be a genius. The audacity. So when you say nothing black, what do you want to see him at the barbershop hanging out with his black friends? You know they can't allow that. Why not? Why can't you show Miles at the barbershop finally fixing that yee haircut that they gave him? Why can't you show me Miles eating, learning how to make arepas. Arepas are Mexican. Learning how to make, what's Puerto Rican food? I don't know, but beans and rice. What do they eat? I don't know what Puerto Ricans eat, yo. I'll be eating Salvadorian food and Mexican food and Guatemalan food. I ain't never been on the Puerto Rican side of the fence. But why is Miles not making Puerto Rican food? Why is he not talking to these drill rappers and being like, hey fam, you really out here just shooting people in the face and making songs about it? Might want to switch your outcome over there. None of that. There's nothing black that ever happened in his existence, because Miles wasn't created by no black people. He was created by a dude that wanted representation for the black children that he adopted. And that's not horrible, but you're right. Uninformed writers make uninformed decisions. If your name is not Brian Michael Bendis, and you got the audacity, the desire to tell a black story, ask some black people what should be done and use your abilities to be a conduit for that black person's creative vision. You take that black person's experience and your ability and put them together. You don't get to have creative output, and if you want to change something, you got to ask them people directly. Static is the first Black Spider-Man. Miles is the second Black Spider-Man, and he sucks. If it wasn't for, you know why that movie was good? That movie was good because they went black people, and they was like, hey, how do we fix this? And even then, they jacked up the first time. These humans don't understand how the heck multiculturalism works. How the heck you gonna give, trying to turn freaking Miles Morales into Barack Obama. I done seen Barack Obama with the afro. That man got 4C hair. We got Barack Obama, who is the cousin of freaking George W. Bush, and yet somehow this man got 4C hair and be smoking cigarettes, and he Kenyan at the same time. And Brian Michael Bendis just thought that he was going to give us an entire black person and just tack the Puerto Ricanness on the back of it with absolutely no cultural context for his Puerto Ricanness whatsoever. At all. And then, like, years later, the comic writers were like, oh, snap, Miles is Puerto Rican. What if we have him say 5 sentences of Spanish every volume just so people remember? And the worst sentence I have ever read in my natural black life is hearing Miles, I'm reading the comic, and Miles is like, Genki, you don't understand. I'm not only black, I'm also Puerto Rican. I wanted to toss the comic book across the freaking Barnes & Noble, but I did not pay for it. We gonna talk about that later. They keep saying that's not experience when they make us always trying to make us respectable. Yeah, that's not a move. I need disrespectful black people. We might need to have disrespectful black characters in 2023, fam. We don't have any Hotep characters. Dang. You should have tossed the comic book across Barnes and Noble. There will never be a Barnes and Noble in a black neighborhood, fam. You trying to get me banned. That's how you get the cops called on you. Can you imagine the white people sitting in the Starbucks and the Barnes and Noble just looking over? What the heck got in that Negro over there? Just excuse me, officer. This Negro just chucked the comic book over the bookshelves. No Hotep characters unless it's a joke or a villain. Hey, I'm gonna send you something that I've written in the future. It's basically it's a Caribbean man that came over to America that knows an ancient system of martial arts, and he fighting gentrification in the community gardens because sick of these humans and they not making the stuff that I want to exist, so I'm making it. Well, I already made it. I made it, and then putting it out is based on who gonna pay me. Because at this point, I'm just selling things to white people and taking their money to buy real estate so that moves can be made. I ain't trying to sit in these meetings with these humans. I ain't trying to act like I like none of these people. I'm gonna make things and be like, hey fam, this the price, pay me or not, c'est la vie. I agree. Have respectability. It ain't work for nobody. Say that again. Hey, you want to get in like 2 months? It's okay. I'll show you the character though. The character was definitely generated with AI, but that's a story for another day. All right. What did Jet say? We scrolling up. Oh wait, hold up. First, official ISIEM. What's my game plan right now? Alright, this is my game plan. Number 1, we taking money from the white man. Number 2, if you're not black, you get taxed. Number 3, I ain't vending at no more conventions. Number 4, I ain't gonna be responsible for no more grown artists whatsoever. I don't care how many followers you got. If you ain't willing to put in the work to get these sales, I ain't got no time for you. And if you try to ask me for something, you's paying, because I'm already giving 4 years of my life away to these humans for free. So I'm running around the country doing all this stuff, picking up all these bags, learning to invest these bags. Once I get out of the credit jam that I'm in, then I'm build the credit and then use the credit to buy the real estate and then live a prosperous life and then get my multilingual, bilingual African or Caribbean wife. And then I'm going to go and raise goats in Tanzania for the rest of my life. So I'm sick of these people. Now where is Jet at? Dang. Can't find it. I hate that Namekian comparison. We was Namekians. Hey, I appreciate the badge, fam. You done donated to the avocado fund. I'm happy. You ain't going to no more cons? Alright, well, I'm going to DreamCon. I might be going to AWA, but if I am going to a con, I'm going to cons for panels. We doing panels, podcasts, and pop-ups. Other than that, I'm not pulling up. You can catch me in church. You need your martial arts cheerful monk and security? I am for hire, fam. We heroes for hire out here. I wish Iron Fist would come back. Anyway, alright, so now I'm talking about my Haitian story and the reason why we had to stop the Haitian story. So, many moons ago, y'all remember Patty when we used to have the late night lives and stuff. And Patty this was like late night live number 15. I'm learning things. She teaching me things about culture and stuff. Cause I done been fake Asian. And then, first I was fake African. I was fake African for a long time, playing the mess out of these djembe drums and speaking Swahili and stuff. And then I met a dude from Kenya, and homie was like, hey fam, why do you speak Swahili? And I was like, cause Swahili is an African language. And he was like, you're African? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, where are you from? And I was like, Ghana, cause that's where my dad told me I was from. And he was like, they don't speak Swahili in Ghana. Ghana's a West African place, and Kenya, Swahili is an East African language. And I was like, well, that's weird. So what do they speak in Ghana? And he was like, they speak Tree in Ghana. And I was like, guess I'm going to learn Tree. So then I started learning Tree. It's actually called Tree. So then I started learning Tree. And then I realized, why am I learning this language I ain't never going to speak if I ain't never going to be around people that actually speaks it? Because I don't live in Ghana, and all the Ghanaian people in America have to learn English. So then, I was just confused. So I'm still, playing djembe drums and speaking Swahili, but I'm also seeing, Fanga Lafia and stuff. And then I'm, doing African dances and stuff. And then I met, I was basically at this place, and I met this girl that was, a Sudanese model. So then, like, I'm talking to her and stuff. She's like, so you African? And I'm like, yes. She's like, where are you from? And I'm like, Ghana. And she's like, what is your tribe? And I was like, I don't know what tribe I'm from. And she was like, then you are not African. And I was like, what? And she was like, see, that's the thing about the black Americans. You are so lost. And she said it with like, it was like, it's like when you look at a homeless, it's like when you look at a homeless dude with a dog, but you feel bad for the dog. It was like that kind of a thing. Like it hurt me to like my bones, yo. Cause it was like, it was like having cold wind push through my spirit. I was like, well, if I'm not African, what am I? And then I found anime, and I was like, I'm gonna watch all this anime and make anime and manga and learn to make anime and move to Japan. And I'm gonna run away in Japan and grow my hair out and get braids and start an animation studio. And life's gonna be peachy because I like Tori Yates and kimonos, even though these women ain't really. So then I'm like being a whole fake Japanese person, learning Japanese, drawing all the Japanese stuff, going to Japanese conventions, and all the Japanese people like, oh my gosh, you learned all this stuff so well, good job, you want to invite in our families and stuff. And then, hey, yo, yeah, she got me good, yo. But anyway, so then I'm like finna go on a whole Japanese journey and stuff, and then I basically meet these like this samurai family, and the samurai family is like, hey fam, you want to join? And I was like, yeah, I want to join. They was like, you pretty handy with that sword, what's up with it? And I was like, I'm trying to join y'all, fam, what you need? And they was like, you gonna have to do this very dangerous ritual. And I was like, dang, I'm not sure Jesus would like this ritual, so I had to bow out to being in the Japanese family. So here I am. I used to be a fake African, now I can't be no fake African no more. And then I used to be fake Japanese, but I can't be fake Japanese. When they offered me real Japanese, I wasn't trying to lose my blackness to like go and be Japanese. So now I'm just sitting here and like, well, if I'm not Japanese, I'm not African, what am I? Then I realized, oh snap, I am Caribbean. And I'm like, oh, so like my grandma from like Bahamas and my granddad's from Haiti. And like after just once you get to Haiti, you're just trailing backwards at that point. Like you either stayed in Haiti or you just going straight to Africa at that point. And so we stared at each other like the dating shit. You can't beat this girl told me when she go back to her village they kill a goat for her and eat it. She said they make a stew. Like the peanut butter soup. You ever heard of peanut butter soup, fam? You're not beating the Sudanese. The Sudanese all you need to know is that Sudan is different, fam. Like Sudan is Sudanese. It's a lot going on. But anyway, Sudan is undefeated. But anyway, you're not going to beat Sudanese. Peanut butter soup is a sin. You say that till you have it because it be spicy, and that's what be shocking. It don't taste like I be thinking. I thought the peanut butter soup was going to taste like it smelled like peanut butter, but it don't taste like peanut butter. If that makes sense. Because in America we add salt and sugar to everything, so we like missing out on a lot of the taste palettes that exist. We better in Congo. Respect. I gotta respect the Congo because, dang. See, it's a whole lot of things that I can't publicly talk about it, but you know that I know that you know that we out here. Shout out to the Ngulu people. But anyway, so now I can't be fake African no more because Sudanese girl done burst my freaking bubble, and then I can't be fake Japanese no more because the Japanese people want me to do rituals that I can't do. So then I'm like, yo, well, I am Caribbean. And the second I say like, yo, I am Caribbean, just meet all these Haitians out of nowhere. And I meet homie from Land Party who happens to be Haitian. Basically, it was a book signing where Senpai Jackie was at. Jackie from Nigeria. So Jackie had this event, and then these people pulled up to the event. Greg from Land Party was there, and then there was a lady there, and I was talking to the lady because like, I'm a dude. And then her boyfriend was like, stop talking to her. And I was just looking up, and this big Mbaku looking dude is just looking down on me. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because I don't know. So I'm freaking 19, 18. I've never been in this position before. I was 18. I'm just looking at this giant Mbaku dude after having talked to this girl for the last 5 minutes. I'm like, I wasn't even intending. I was literally intending to speak, but I guess we just not speaking now. We just talking to each other at this point. And then he's like, "You Haitian?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm Haitian." He was like, "Come hither." So now we just got 3 magical Haitians just running around talking about life and stuff. And then this is the freaking the Taekwondo magical twins in Baltimore is Haitian. And then the dude is the boyfriend, the homegirl, to be rapping and stuff. He happens to be Haitian and Ghanaian at the same freaking time. And then all these artists happen to be Haitian. And all these people in New York happen to be. And it eventually leads to Patty. And so we're talking late night live. And I'm like, "Hey, if you had an anime that you could write, what would you want it to be?" And then she's like, "I want an anime about a Haitian girl that goes back to Haiti, that learns about her culture." And she done already provided great value to my existence. So I was like, "You know what, Patty? I'm going to make that for you." So in one day, I wrote the entire script. And it was basically like Cora, but better. It was like she was doing really well in school. So to reward her, so she went to Haiti. Then she went out there and she was working at a hostel. And then she like met all these magical people and did all this magical stuff and got her soul teleported into the past and then learned a whole bunch of cool stuff and then came back with magic and then brought the magic when she came to America and then life got dope. And then yeah, I wrote it and then I presented it. Oh yeah, because I can't stand Cora on so many levels. And it's not even that Cora is a bad character. It's that the way that her world was structured just set her up to fail in so many different ways. Like, she was in the wrong world. If Cora was... Because Cora would be such a dope anti-hero, but they had to make her the main character. And that's... She be doing side character activities as the main character. And I don't appreciate that. The story legit could have been about Kuvira, and it would have been so much more interesting, because Kuvira got meat on the bones. Like, she really been, like, had life experience. Cora ain't really have no life experiences like that. And what we saw was just her never learning from any of her experiences that she ever had, but being affected by all of them. Just, oh, what if homie doesn't like me? What if I don't know how to drive? Oh my gosh, I want to fight people all the time. But she never made, like, any informed decisions based on any of the things that happened in her life. And that's what I didn't like about her. Welcome, Teishi. Cora was too sheltered. That's a fact. But yeah, so I made the comment. I wrote the entire thing in one day, and I was like, boom, here you go, Patty. And she was like, this is good. Make it. And I sent it to Avatar, because Avatar is the person. So I was like, hey, Avatar, here's this thing. And she was like, this is pretty good. Let's make stuff. So then we developed things, and then we presented it to Patty again. We were like, boom. Because this is the thing. Like, when you making a story, that's just, like, the thing that makes it hard to make a story about, like, Haiti is that you got, like, basically you got the revolution, and you got the present day, and you got before the revolution. Nobody wants to talk about before the revolution because it's horribly sad. The revolution is a point of great pride, and the current day is just very, very complicated on so many different levels. So all you can really address is like the revolution, because that's what most people know anyway. So like, but even inside of that, you have like the culture that existed during that time and why it was the way that it was. And like, basically the revolution of Haiti starts with a Jamaican man. His name was Dutty Bookman, or Suleiman Dutty Bookman. And Suleiman Dutty Bookman was like the dude that's like basically like the father of the revolution, basically. And he was from Jamaica because Haiti was like a breaking colony. So you send all your slaves that don't do nothing elsewhere, send them to Haiti, they get traumatized, and then hopefully they come back reformed, or they just get worked to death in sugar fields, one of the two. So they was just diesel and hard for no reason. So Bookman basically sets the ground floor, and then like Toussaint and Dessalines and Toya and all of them build on top of the foundation laid by Bookman. And then like basically they fight for a really long time, and then eventually they get free, and then a whole bunch of other craziness happens. And the thing that makes it tricky is that like, because these are Africans, like culture is only like, they got there in like the 1700s, and it's like barely, or they got there in like the 1600s, and it's like barely the 1800s. So like, that's only 200 years. So you still African. You just speak French and Creole, but like you still a whole African. So they had so many African customs inside of their culture that they was existent with, including their religion. And their religion is a minefield because of the landscape that we operate in from a cultural standpoint as people in the West. So like, if you don't understand how to either depict that relationship to spirituality, or skirt around that relationship to spirituality, you put yourself in a bit of a bind. And that bind is further caused by the fact that in the modern day, you have 500 years of informed culture behind what it means to be a Haitian, especially from like a spiritual and cultural perspective. Whereas like in the late 1700s, you only had 200 years. So like to the 200-year version, like the version that existed in like the late 1700s, it's probably closer to Africa than the version that exists in the 2000s now. And so the question then became like, how much do we give Africa credit and how much do we give Haiti credit? How do we balance the cultural aspects of Africa and Haiti in the way that spirituality and language are depicted? That's where things get tricky. I mean, you guys have voodoo religion, Add Angst and Vengeance. You have a story that led to revolution. Yes, but how do you depict voodoo respectfully? Because it's a real thing that exists. It's like, how do you depict authentic Christianity respectfully? Because like, if you got a whole bunch of black people running around Egypt chopping people's heads off, that's biblically accurate, but like, that's kind of jacked up. So all you can really, Africa has voodoo, Caribbean has voodoo. That's a fact. And different people have different understandings of what that word means to them and what that culture means to them and what those practices mean to them. And it's not my place to depict that, nor to hold that responsibility. So the first thing we decided to do was cut all the voodoo stuff. Voodoo stuff is gone. And we're like, all right, cool. That makes life easier. And the second part was like, yo, how do we balance the African culture and like the Haitian culture? And we was like, just meet them in the middle. We're going to use the Haitian names with African practices. So when you look at like their like traditional dances and stuff, oh, their dances are so cool. They're the names, like the names that they have are like straight African, like Igbo. Like they legit have like African names in their dances. It's freaking dope. So it was like, cool. So we're going to keep the Haitian words, but we're going to have the African practices because they still have those African practices. And then as for food, you just like give the food that isn't explicitly French and then you straight. It doesn't need to be perfect. I mean, I'm not going to do that, but you definitely can. You can't cut voodoo. That's what makes things tricky and that's why we boop. Somebody else can do that. I'm not going to do that, but somebody else can build upon the foundation that is laid. Because you have to understand it in order to depict it without being ignorant, and I don't know how to do that. So, the inspiration that is had from the study that has been done informs the things that are created, but I'm not going to create anything rooted in a specific country. I have to look at the rise of the roses and apply the rise of your body. Hey, I can't do such things, but whoever does, I wish them good luck. What I've done is how Avatar is like pan-Asian in its influences, where they're influenced by like the Inuit people and the Chinese people and the Japanese people and Thai people. I have a pan-Caribbean story that's influenced by all of these different parts and practices of the Caribbean and Latin America, but like doesn't specifically adhere to any one culture. That way, I can basically do whatever the heck I want and not have to worry about specificity. Because, yeah, we keeping ourselves safe over here. And I've had, like, a lot of spiritual stuff that happened over the course of making the book. I'm not trying to deal with more of it. Because I love Jesus, but, yeah. I love Jesus. I earned one. Hey, I appreciate you. But, yeah. So, after we cut out the voodoo, and then we figured out how to balance the African and Haitian African and Haitian culture, then we had to address history. Because there's 3 ways you can attack the history. You can say the French are evil and they all deserve to die. Or you can say the people are incredibly strong and their relationships to each other is what kept them alive through all the things that they were dealing with. Or this is a fantasy where you only see black people going hard as humanly possible, destroying the slave masters. And we kind of went more so with the third one, but also we let a lot of really bad things happen so that there'd be an emotional core. Like, people die a lot. There's a lot of death, and we balance out the death with humor and comedy so that the death hits even harder. You will like everybody that dies. It's better that way. So yes, it was created and it was completed, and I gave it to Avatar, and Avatar was like, run it. And I went to Patty, and Patty was like, run it. I was like, cool. All right, we're off to the races. So now we go off to the races. Welcome, Dylan. We go off to the races to go in and get all the marketing stuff done. And Jesus is like, hold off, fam. What the heck, Jesus? You know how long it took? It took 4 years to finish this. And Jesus was like, I know, but hold off. And I was like, okay, fine. So I'm holding off. I'm drawing other things, still studying in different places. And I'm like, so can I drop the thing now, Jesus? And he's like, you can put it up, but like, don't do too much. I was like, why not? And he was like, you'll see. So then, the homie with the Haiti zombie comic vampire, he hits me and he's like, hey, I'm doing a Kickstarter. I see you got a Haitian project. I got a Haitian project. Why don't we join forces? And I was like, Jesus, what you want? And Jesus was like, run it. I was like, cool. So I was like, here is all the things. Go forth into the world and capitalize on all of this desire for black stories to be told. I am your ally. And then some months later, Avatar was like, yeah, fam, we gonna have to pull the plug. And I was like, why? And she was like, it's not ready. It needs more time in the oven. And I was like, okay, well, guess we're gonna have to pull the plug. So then the plug gets pulled. And 2 days after the plug gets pulled, with my involvement with Homie and the Vampire comic, then the Haitian big homie comes through. And the Haitian big homie comes through, and he's like, hey, fam, who the heck is this man? And I was like, this the Brazilian man from New York. They got the comic with the New York thing and the vampire and stuff. And he was like, who gave this man a pass to do this with our culture? And I was like, he got a Haitian editor. I got a Haitian editor. I interviewed him so I can know what's up. You can watch the interview so that you know what's up. And he was like, alright, well, we gonna see what happens. I ain't gonna attack him. And I was like, I appreciate that, Haitian big homie. So now here we are. Jesus says run it a lot. He say run it, but he don't say I'm gonna help you. If he say I'm gonna help you, then like it's on. Like, when's the last time he helped me? Like DreamCon, I was like, hey fam, should I go to DreamCon? And he was like, run it. I got you. And I was like, okay. And it worked out. I was like, hey, should I keep the website open? He was like, nope. I was like, why not? He's like, cause I said so, fam. Try me. I dare you. And I ain't tried him. Jesus care. Hey, he done did everything that already needed to be done. This man done giving me so many bars. I'm good. He don't need to do anything else. This man was really like, I love people, so you ain't got to. And I was like, what? And he was like, you be sacrificing yourself for no reason. I'm dead, fam. Heck you need to do that I ain't already did. I was like, you know what, fam? That made perfect sense. And now my life is so much better because of that. Welcome to Detroit. That ain't Piccolo, is it? That's definitely Piccolo. I'm gonna make a new We Was Namekian shirt. That's gonna be the next drop on the website. So We Was Namekians. But yeah. So, in short version, if you not black, you make a story about black people and black culture. You gotta go find you some black people to like affirm everything that you want to do. It's not gonna matter when you sell the idea to the white man. And honestly, black people don't have enough like capital to actually stop you if you're gonna be successful anyway. But like, if you wanna be in good cultural standing with black people, which does has its benefits, and you gotta talk to black people about stuff. That's actually really, really important. Because, like, I've never experienced Haitian rage, and I don't intend on it. I've experienced Jamaican rage, and that's enough. That is all of the Caribbean rage that I need to experience. Now, Hispanic rage, I've experienced a lot of Hispanic rage. And from women, I've enjoyed it. From dudes, it's been absolutely horrifying. But Caribbean rage, I don't want no parts of that. There's nothing good that can come from Caribbean rage whatsoever. And I imagine the canceling power of Caribbeans is like infinitely powerful. Because people be saying black Americans create culture. And that's true. But Caribbean Americans give black Americans seasoning. Literally. You know how many black people in America and Atlanta is out here making oxtails, fam? Here's the Spanish Rangers and the acquired taste. It's so they ain't get the memo. My people really be going to the Caribbean market out here to have their freaking food trucks. And they be giving people proper portions of Jamaican food. That's how you know they not Jamaican. Because Jamaicans give you 5 cups of rice in a takeout dish, 1 little oxtail, 2 little oxtails. The plantain, they give you like a quarter of a plantain with mad soup. You get mad stock. You get mad sauce, but you're not going to get that much protein. Like, you going to be full off of a very small amount of food that look like it's a whole lot of food. Because you got to conserve your resources over here. Heck is you doing? But yeah, I have no desire to experience Caribbean. African rage? Oh, okay. I don't really care about African rage that much. Welcome, Fall Palette, and we're teaching these white people how not to get sniped. Freaking Brian Michael Bendis. He hurts my soul. But we got the Spider-Verse movie. If Bendis ain't make the stupid decision to invent Miles freaking 15 years ago, we wouldn't have the Spider-Verse movie where all of his sins were erased and Michael still ended up with a white woman. Because you know dang well... grabbing a sandwich at the deli. No problem. You know dang well at the end of the freaking Spider-Verse movie, he's going to be like, you know what? I'm $1 million away. Can't wait for more merch to support you. I'm greatly appreciative. Yeah. At the end of the freaking next Spider-Verse movie, he's gonna be like, I know that we're not supposed to be together, Gwen, because Gwen and Spider-Man never work out, but I'm gonna do my own thing. Come into my arms, white woman, because, I hate these people, but that's a story for another day. So yes, very, very short version of this entire rant is that if you making your story rooted in a culture that you're not a part of, then all you can really do is go to the people whose culture it is. And you might be good. Maybe. Possibly. Realistically speaking, though, the best thing that you can do is just consult with people that are from the culture. That way you can just blame them when people are mad. If you don't want to be mad regardless, you're always going to look for a reason to be upset. Sometimes you can use that vitriol to your benefit. Sometimes. But it's very important to get cultural cosigns. Like, I had a comic that was about a kid from a fictional Caribbean island being adopted by Cubans. And I presented it to a Cuban, and the Cuban was like, nah. And so I was like, cool. I'll just have these Cuban people be from a fictional island as well. And somebody else saw it, and they were like, run it. That's the difference. Whereas, because people love their people ultimately. Like, these are real people from real places where real things have happened. And especially if you in America, you're not outside of where you come from because you don't want to be there. Sometimes you can't be there. Sometimes you shouldn't be there. Sometimes there are forces beyond your control that are stopping you from being able to operate the way that you want to operate. And we got to understand that and be not just empathetic or understanding of that reality, but we need to understand like what America is. And that's a place where anybody from anywhere can come here and turn themselves into whatever they will work to become by any means necessary. That's the beautiful thing about being here. Even though America be tripping greatly and police be shooting people in the face and stuff. I'm surprised you didn't make a Caribbean channel. I love what you're doing. Like, is there any serious about it with an animated adaptation? Oh, I did make a Caribbean show on it. Long time ago. I had a little drunk kid. He was running around with a beer bottle and a machete, fighting people all the time. It was great. Yeah, he had a gun with a knife on the end of it, and instead of shooting people with the gun, he'd use the gun as a melee weapon. It was dope. But, yeah, that's for later. See, because here's the thing. You never sell the freaking baby. Oh, why I read it like that? Because Jesus loves you. That's why. This the thing, fam, is you don't never sell the baby. And I learned that when I started watching people get their projects stolen off of the freaking timeline. The problem with these humans on Instagram, that these humans on Instagram care more about the validation that they get than the bread that they get, which is why they don't get the bread. And when they do get the bread, they waste it validating themselves because they ain't get the validation they wanted in the freaking first place. So what ends up happening is people are like, this is my original character, and I'm expressing myself with my original character, and here's all this information about this original character that's actually information about me, and I'm just going to put all of my fantasies and hopes and dreams in life into this original character that I'm presenting to you. And then companies sitting there like, hey, this slaps, fam. Let me get that. And then they take it. They take your whole life that you done put into this fake character that you done posted to Instagram 500 times, drawing in mad different poses, wearing different clothes, doing all this stuff, going out with girls that you ain't never gonna see in real life. And you mad. And you like, yo, well, they stole from me. But they didn't steal from you. You took your life and put it on the internet and was surprised when somebody else used it. So when I learned you're not supposed to sell the baby, I just stopped presenting the baby to the world. And instead I started presenting the other children that were created. So my baby is close to me. And that is why you don't see the baby anymore. Everybody else, internet can have them. I will sell all of them. They will be sold. And I'm selling them to the white man too. Juaso is a drug? That's a fact. Pure dimethyltryptamine. Welcome, Dan James. This live is being recorded and will be posted to YouTube in approximately 5 minutes. We were having a rant today about cultural appropriation and just making sure. We're having a conversation about cultural appropriation and how to tell a story featuring a culture that you're not a part of, and how Miles Morales was written to suck because he wasn't written by a black person. And if you're not black, you don't understand what it's like to be black. You can't tell no black person's story. If you try, you're going to end up pairing them with a because these idiots don't understand what blackness is. We can't be selling and we talking about this. No, we not selling the baby. We selling the other children that we don't care about as much as the baby. Cause that's freaking. Okay, so it's a very short version. Okay, I'm black, so I know that me being black is having melanin and hair that's higher than a 3B, and being passively culturally aware of like soul food and hip hop and R&B and jazz, and I like drums, and I'm black. That's what being black means to me. And then like these freaking white people think blackness is edginess and eccentricity and freedom of expression and swagger and sass, and they say these freaking words in these freaking meetings. Oh yeah, like if they're talking about, oh, she's so sassy, I like how sassy she is. And they say talking about a black dude, he just has this swagger. I don't know. There's just something about his style, his swagger, style. What other words do they like to use? They like to say eccentricity. They like to say he's so bold. They say bold. Just, that upsets me. Brian Michael Bendis ain't that good? What? Brian Michael Bendis got some slappers, fam. His Avengers is dope. His regular Spider-Man is dope. His Daredevil is dope. I like his Daredevil a lot. It's kind of hard to mess up Daredevil. So urban, nah, they don't say, because when if you black, that's not ethnic enough, fam. That's why they be having, that's why we got what we got. Like, see, so these idiots. I'm gonna finish. I'm going on it. So these people think that blackness equals not the status quo. So everything that don't fit into the status quo, they just throw on the freaking black people. Which is why they be giving all these black people to people that ain't black. Because these idiots don't see black people as people that need each other in order to do things so that things get done. They see black people as like, you are the antidote to boringness. So we're just going to do all the things that aren't boring and give it to you because you're not boring by definition. And it hurts. It hurts so much. Good God. And then they just have a sliding scale. So they're like, all right, well, you can't be completely black. So we're just going to have this passably ethnic, urban undertone person to take this space. And that's what these idiots do instead. Oh, it's annoying. Because I be acting. So I be, oh, God. The amount of times, it's just, I'll be like, there's like a girl that's like my partner or whatever when I'm doing like an acting thing. And they're like, yeah, we wanted to just pair you up because we really thought you like look good together. Like you have and she has an ethnic look, and then you're just, I'm like, wow, white people. Our various skin color is interesting in the White Writers Room. It's annoying. Just take whatever boring plot you have that's not working and just make them black. It hurts. Welcome, Brian D. Covington, to Between Magic and Dream. Oh, every time that I think, you know what, I think I'm good. I think I've settled with the white people now, and I can. No. Every time I've gained patience again, it's like absolutely not. Heck, I was really a fool. But anyway, that's the conversation. An ethnic look. What do you mean by that? Was that racially motivated? It definitely was. And the problem is, it's been like 20 years. It's been like 20 good years without no crazy overt racism. So like, you don't know what so I'm watching Suits right now. And Meghan Markle is in Suits. Dang, now I can't save this live. Oh well. I'm watching Suits right now. And Meghan Markle is in Suits. And it's so crazy to watch. Because, like, I was watching the show, and I was like, why am I almost passively attracted to this lady? Heck is going on here? And then, like, 5 episodes passed. She has certain mannerisms. And I was like, yo, is this person black? And then my dad was just walking past the TV. And he was like, oh, snap, that's Meghan Markle. And I was like, that's freaking Meghan Markle. And I was like, oh, snap, I guess that is Meghan Markle. That's crazy. Wow, all right then. I've heard they be talking crazy in them casting rooms. A Korean friend was told he can only be a stuntman since Asians can't emote. Yeah, they're stupid. Glad we're on freaking strike. The anti-Asian sentiment don't make no sense. I didn't even see, like, if you're not Caribbean or African, I don't see how the heck you could be anti-Asian. That marketing is just too good, fam. But yes, so that's the conversation. Short version, don't play with freaking fire. You want to take the culture that's not yours and make stories about it, you better have people that's willing to take credit for whatever the heck you make and take responsibility for whatever the heck you make, because that's what the heck I did. I went to Patty and Avatar and the Haitian Big Homie, and I was like, hey, y'all, does this fly? And it was like, yeah. And I was like, cool. Guess we rolling with it. And then, yeah, that's what was done. And then when Avatar was like, pull the plug, I pulled the plug. Because she my cultural root. She tell me it don't fly, it don't fly. Simple as that. I don't care that it took 4 years for me to make it. Make something else. Use them pages to get some jobs and then pay somebody else to make one of the things I already ran. If they had it that way, we'd get Scarlett Johansson playing Nat Turner. Casting directors thought Nina Simone should have been played by Zoe Saldana in blackface. I will never trust their intelligence. Hey, they don't understand. If you, like, shortest version possible. If you do not understand colorism, the double consciousness, texturism, or code switching, you shouldn't be writing black characters. I'm not going to say black and brown or black and Latinx or BIPOC. Nah, I don't care about black people. Black people come first. Everybody else, you down on the list. And based on how blackness work, if you a BIPOC, it's probable that you contextually black anyway. So, yeah, if you don't understand colorism, texturism, the double consciousness, and code switching, if you don't know what them words mean, it's probably not the life for you, fam. Thank you all for coming to my TED Talk. Stay tuned for 2 o'clock p.m. where we will be talking to Obi Gainsmaker Art about all of his forays into art and finessing these white people into giving him stuff and all that good stuff. Have a blessed day, people. Goodbye.